All righty. Have to mute this because it opens it up and so you hear me talking. All right. So welcome everyone. I see Ozzy here. Thank you so much for being here. And I will yes, allow you to share the screen. Woohoo. How are you doing today, Ozzy? I'll wait till you get all this down. Or I start asking you questions. Bringing up a conversation.
I'm doing well, and I'm doing really well. How are you?
I'm good. And our neighborhood is on pre-evacuation watch because there's a wildfire.
Oh, shoot.
So uh
Gosh. Oh, no.
but
The wildfires starting already. Don't you have snow too?
no, we're in the desert. We live
Mm.
in part of Colorado that's basically a desert. So
Okay.
it's dry and hot here most of the time. I'm not complaining. I love it here. In fact, Regis just moved here. I'm sorry for him. I didn't. I think maybe hopefully they're not too upset about suddenly lots of wind and fire going on. But
Oh,
yeah, we have two
boy.
big fires here,
Oh, dear.
one north of us and one south of us. Or one in the south part of town where there's a steel mill here. So there's a fire at the steel mill. There's a fire up here north of us that was, I guess, started from a homeless camp down by the river. So this is, yeah, this is Colorado. So anyhow, all right, we have our reading up, and I guess we're on Miracle Principle number 33. So who would like to read Miracle Principle number 33? Please put up your
I'll,
hand.
I'll start it off. How
Sounds
about?
good, huh? All right.
All right. Miracles celebrating our awesomeness. Yeah. Miracles are like big, happy celebrations just for you because you are super lovable. Oh, I love that. Just really, really emphasizing love to kids. Always that love. Love, 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 love. Super lovable. Yeah. They're like magic spells that make all the make believe things in your head disappear and let your true light shine bright. Sometimes we get stuck in our own tricky thoughts and feel like we're in a scary dream, but miracles are like superhero rescues that set us free. They help break us out of the pretend prison we put ourselves in and make our minds feel super smart and sane again. You see, sometimes we forget how amazing we are, but miracles remind us that deep inside we have a super duper spirit that's always free and full of love. Now, that is just absolutely beautiful. I think this is my favorite one so far. I don't know why. It's got so much in it. We're shining bright like a diamond. And then it talks about, the tricky thoughts, being stuck in the prison, stuck in a scary dream. Um, and we forget the forgetting. It's just everything's right there. Miracles celebrating our awesomeness. Thank you for this one. I love it. Anybody else have anything? So good.
Yeah, I love it. Reminding children that they're lovable. And I don't know about you, but I spent a lot of my childhood thinking I was not only unlovable, I was absolutely dislikable. And I spent my whole life thinking everybody hated me. And even if people told me they loved me, I thought they were lying. And people told me, oh, you're this, you're that, I always just thought, you're just saying that. That is not, that's not really how you really think. Because I couldn't accept it because I couldn't love myself. So if there had been any sort of constructive work with me as a small child to let me know that I was lovable, I might have had a completely different kind of life. So that's what I have to say. And McKaylee, please go ahead.
Oh, I love what you just said, Lynn, and I totally agree. It's beautiful. I love it here where it says that talks about it's like we're in a scary dream, but miracles are like superheroes that rescue and set us free. They help us break out of the pretend prison we put ourselves in and make our minds feel super smart and sane again. And I mean, I can actually just picture that. And I love how, it's a pretend prison, and yeah, and what you mentioned that if somebody says that they love you, then you don't even want to believe that. Sorry, I have to get this call, but that's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, McKaylee. Anybody else have any comments on this? I don't know. For me, it's just personal experience that, says that's, the miracle, if kids could understand that, that the miracle is not just something that comes because you're really good or something that comes because you've, done something right or whatever. It is here because of what you are, and what you are is the love. And I think it make a huge difference. So I appreciate it very much. Anybody have anything else?
Hey, I got a lot of noise going on. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
I just put you guys on the TV so that my kids can participate in this discussion, at least listen in. So just think of yourself as actually teaching kids here too, okay? I think that's a great way to do it. It is a beautiful thing just to see how simple that it makes it. Just um, putting it very simple. We just have to keep reiterating the same ideas, just putting it in different formats, different ways, and life is like that. I mean, we how many days do we do the same thing every single day? And we are really learning the miracle and what it entails. So in the same way, this book just making it so simple is just so helpful and beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Devin. And that's adorable to hear your kids back there. So, hi guys. Good morning, kids. Audrey, please go ahead.
Oh, I just have tears in my eyes hearing those kids in the back. And Rev Devin, you're saying, we're teaching the kids. It's like, hey, kids, yay, you are love, you are light, you are so bright. Shine, shine, shine. I love it. Thank you for the gift of just being here, too. I just am very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Audrey. Anybody else have anything about this miracle principle? I love it. Yeah. Just reinforce the truth of what we are. And, I don't understand. I was just looking it up. And, there's so many people. The Course of Miracles is not for children. Yeah, it is. I don't think Christianity is for children. My goodness, I learned things from the catechism that would curl your hair. You just think about how, the things that, they tell you God is and God does, that's much more uh, influential to a child to hear that kind of stuff than to hear that God loves you. And like I said, I went through so much of my life thinking that, God was distant and not caring a whole lot about what was going on. So it would have been really good news to me to have, people telling me, God's here and he loves you and you are valuable, you are worthy, and really meaning it, not just saying it because it's a nice thing to say to a little kid so they feel good. It's actual really meaning it and knowing that it's true, that can shift and change the world. That's why I'm not scared about the future generation, because I think there is this movement toward the healing of the mind. So let's see who has their hand up. Ozzy, do you still have your hand up or you have it up again?
Yeah, no, I got it up again. I agree, Lynn. When I moved to Alberta, it was when I was in grade 8. So I forget how old that is, but I went to a Catholic school when I came to Alberta, and it was quite jarring. I mean, I really got into it, and I was baptized in grade 9 because it was my choice, my baptism. I really took it seriously, this whole religion thing. My parents weren't religious, but I just dove right into it. And I sat in the class one day thinking about this God, and I thought to myself, I think he might have multiple personalities. Maybe he's schizophrenic. Like I just really was thinking this, and I put up my hand, and my religion teacher came over, and she was like, "Yeah," and I said, "I don't. How could a God send people to hell? Like I don't believe it." And she whispered to me, "Neither do I." And I think that helped me not get sunk too badly, because here was a religious teacher and I'm new to this whole thing. And she was basically telling me she didn't believe that either. And that was just a breath of fresh air. So I felt to share that because it's just a crazy religion. The Catholics, and my first experience of going in for confession was just absolutely horrible. It was just the worst thing of my life. It wasn't even done privately. It was all, there were different priests on the stage and there were lineups and we all went and you could basically hear people. It was just very odd to me, but I always had that in the back of my mind that my teacher didn't believe it. So I didn't have to believe it either. Thank you.
And that was a miracle. That actually was a miracle, that teacher telling you that. Because yeah, either they would say, well, they never said that either to me, but they would always say it's a mystery, which means I don't believe it either. It's a mystery. Beats me. I don't know how God could do those things. I couldn't do it. But that also gives people thought that it's okay for them to be cruel to other people as well. Well, God's that way, so of course, it's okay if I'm that way too. And that again, you know, this is, this is our whole idea, our whole thought about God that's formed when we're young about what we think God is. So either spend your whole life trying to find the truth, or you just believe that God is multiple personalities. And of course, that God is like 8 billion personalities. That God is all the personalities of all the egos in the world. And the real God is none of those things. So I think it's good to teach children a reality that's not scary too. So I love that. All right. Any other things on this one? Let's move on to 34 then. Let's see. I think you moved a little too far. Yeah, it's kind of hard, isn't it? Having things in the right place, but that's okay. We're cool with it. There we go. That works. All right, who would like to read 34? Don't be shy. It's on national television. It's being broadcast into the universe. But don't be shy. Put your hand up. Oh, okay, I guess it must be me. I'll read it. Okay. 34. Miracles, the awesome power of fixing and helping. Miracles are like super duper fixes for our minds. They help us feel complete and strong, just like wearing an invincible shield. Imagine having a superpower that keeps all the bad stuff away and fills you up with goodness. That's what happens when we forgive and share our love with others. You see, when someone forgives us, it's like they're giving us a big warm hug and we feel all fuzzy inside. And guess what? We can do the same for our friends and make the world a better place together. It's like being part of a superhero team with Christ. And our mission is to spread love and happiness to everyone. So this is not so much explaining anything, it's just telling you what you are. So, telling a child that through love and forgiveness, we are invulnerable, that nothing can harm us. Why? Because the whole idea of harm is something in our mind. So when we practice forgiveness and we see the love or extend the love, then what we see in our mind is always peace. And if you think about the things that we think are bad things that people do, or bad things that can happen to you, or just in general, what we imagine are bad things in the world. Um, we, it's only bad because we think it is, right? It's only bad because we think that it's bad. And for the most part, um, the things we think are bad are it's just an opinion. It's an idea. Somebody told us, you should not do this, or good people don't do that, or nice children don't act this way or do act this way, or whatever. And these are all ideas and opinions that someone gave to us, and that's what we use to judge ourselves and judge the world around us. So if we are able to allow our mind to be fixed so that we're not having those feelings uh, of opinion or judgment on what we think we're seeing, then what bad thing can happen? If all we're doing is extending love, we are the good, and we are extending the good. And literally, it does change you. It changes your point of view. It changes your ability to be in peace in your mind. It changes your ability to communicate with other people. It changes when things seem to be going wrong, you have um, uh, a point of view that says, it's okay. Nothing is really going wrong. Nothing wrong has happened. And if you can see it that way, if you can learn to see it that way, then guess what? The things that the world, you've learned the lesson. And we're not telling this to kids, but you have learned the lesson that nothing can harm you. And so nothing will come up to harm you. There's no more prodding you to learn the lesson. It won't come up because why? You have forgiven it. You have let go of it. And that's what forgiveness does. It brings you to a place where you let go of all your concepts of what is and what should be. and then everything is okay. And I love to raise my children thinking everything is all right. Unfortunately, I already raised my children, and so they think the world is hell. If only I could go back in time. But I don't have to go back in time because all I have to do is realize this for myself. And that makes it so. Anyway, turn the mic back over to you or anybody else want to comment on this one.
That's beautiful, Lynn. Thank you. I'm back. Sorry, I had to take that call, but
Oh, that's
that's
okay.
beautiful. I love that. And yeah, about you talking too about, that you've already raised your children and all that. We can only do the best. So, and that was actually my son who just called, So I try to talk to him too and bring these. I love this class because although my son is 22, and he thinks he knows everything at that age, he's becoming more receptive to this, and I kind of try to bring this miracle thought system into him and kind of show him how life really works. How the puzzle, the pieces all fit together in this jigsaw puzzle we call life. So thank you for sharing that about your kids. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Michaela. And it's interesting. Your son is 22. My granddaughter is 22, and her best friend, and all her friends are in that age, they are deeper thinkers. They are like beginning to ask the questions. She's already gone through her party part. I mean, she still parties. Believe me, not saying that she doesn't party. She does, and but she's a mother. Her partner, her boyfriend, that was her like all since she was in middle school. He is the father of her baby, and he was killed in a car wreck before the baby was born, before little Delilah was born. And so she's been through a lot. Delilah will be 4 in May. She's been through a lot. And she has begun to ask the questions. And that's really, I mean, unfortunately, if you don't get it early on, you got to be hit with, tragedy most of the time. That's how most of us got here, is through, some kind of reaction to an adverse situation or a tragedy. So, teaching children when they're really little about the reality of the world could help so much. And now she's asking the questions, and now her and her friends are getting the idea that there's something more and something beyond. So I do have hope. So and I'm sure for your son, it, there's absolute reason to have hope that,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. And that's where this class, I really love it on Saturdays. Thank you so much for creating this class and for bringing it together, because you never stop being a parent. And like, Ken Wapnick, Dr. Wapnick used to, or Uncle Ken used to say,
Uncle Kenny.
you wake up every day and say, he would say, I got to go to school today. It's a classroom, and, it's just right now on the phone, I told my son, because I said, you've saved a lot of lives as an EMT. You've done a lot of good things, because he's also right now going through a difficult period in his life. I said, so all of that is stored up for you. That's, the Course in Miracles, and in the text, it talks about that, and even some of the workbook lessons and it's a beautiful way to present it to children too. Well, all your good things you've done, that's all stored in a treasure house for you, treasure chest for you. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's beautiful. And yeah, we can be proud of these young people that are going forth and, doing something with their lives. And if they're not, eventually they will. That's the other thing that's so wonderful. It's a given. So, all right. So, anybody else on 34? Shall we move on to 35? Thank you, Odsy. And again, anybody want to read 35?
I'll read it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. 35 Miracles, Secret Messages of Love. Miracles are like special love notes, but guess what? They don't always have fireworks and big drum rolls. Sometimes they're like super secret missions that only a very special person can do. You see, the coolest part is that I can do miracles anytime, anywhere, because I'm like a superhero of fixing things. But here's the fun part. You have a secret role too. I'll be the one to tell you what miracles to do. This way, you won't get all tired trying to figure it out because we'll have our own secret way of talking. So when you're not sure what to do, just ask me and I'll send you a special message. That's so beautiful because that's teaching a child to listen to the voice of the Holy Spirit. So thank you.
Yeah. I think these are good words to say to children too. And that it doesn't have to be, they don't have to come up with the answer. I love that he's asking us to just stop making up or trying to figure out what to do and just ask. And that is when we see something that's going wrong, we can just open up and ask to be told what to do. And that whatever we do is going to be the right thing. So, yeah, and I love that. It says, uh, here's the fun part. You have a secret role too. I'll be the one to tell you what miracles to do. This way you won't get all tired trying to figure it out because we'll have our own secret way of talking. And, I love, giving kids the idea that there is another way of hearing and that there is an actual thing that we can hear, that either through a feeling, an instinct, somehow or the other, uh, just knowing, letting children know that you can know things and that you do know things and that you can hear things. Because, I tell you myself, I heard a lot when I was a kid. I heard the Holy Spirit. I heard all Jesus, I heard all this. And, what people told me was, no, you don't. No, that's not true. No, no, that isn't. But I knew it was true. And I think it's true for everyone. I think everyone has that connection to spirit that is always talking to them. And children, if you let them or allow them or expect them to, they'll hear it too. And so telling them, hey, you will be able to hear this. There'll be a secret way of talking. You will hear something. So if you're not sure what to do, just ask and I'll send you a special message. That doesn't mean that you're going to get a letter in the mail or, somebody's going to call you and tell you something. It is something that you will hear within yourself and you will know that it's true. And so everybody's capable of doing it, and children especially because they haven't completely been corrupted by the world. So I love this, opening up to hear the secret messages of love. Anybody else have any thoughts on this? All right, well then let's go on to 36. See poor Ozzy trying to get this all in here in the right place. It's hard to do with this document. There, I think that's it. So who would like to read 36? Okay, I guess it's me again. Miracles, number 36, super help from Christ. Miracles are like super help from a really special friend, Christ. He helps us in such a personal way that it's like having your own secret adventure. You know what's cool? Miracles are like secret messages that Christ sends to you. He doesn't force you to do anything, but he gives you the best advice ever. It's like having a guide who shows you the way, but lets you choose your path. When we make mistakes, it's like taking the wrong turn on an adventure. But Christ reminds us that we're really awesome deep down, just like a treasure hidden inside us. So we can choose to let go of our mistakes and follow Christ's guidance to be our best selves. And guess what? When we do that, we help others be their best too. And I think that's what I was just saying before. Same thing. So does anybody have any thoughts or comments?
And that was perfect, Lynn. Sorry, I didn't put up my hand. I'm just on one computer, but I love that you just had talked about this, right? And also Michaela said too that we have that treasure chest that we have. And this talks about that treasure hidden inside of us. And all those treasures are in this vessel, this body. That's the treasure chest, I think. Thank you.
Thank you, Ozzy. Yeah, and I'm just really beginning to see how important it is that we do, we do, oh, and I see Ricky has her hand up. Good. We do see that, we tell children fairy tales. We read them fairy tales. We tell them all kinds of stuff that tell them how to be and how to see things and what to think about things. And, we can just as easily tell them this. And it might be a little more useful. Ricky, please go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry. Um, when we make a mistake, it's like taking the wrong turn on an adventure. And I enjoy that because being raised when I was making mistakes, it wasn't a good thing. And what happened after that wasn't a good thing. So being able to really teach the kids that it's just a mistake. You're just moving along. Oops, you learned something. You made a wrong turn, and that you keep on going. Thank you.
Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, it's so much more helpful than, telling them, go back and fix it, or emphasizing the mistake instead of emphasizing the love that they are. So, I like that a lot too. Does anybody else have anything they'd like to share on this? All right, well then let's look at number 37. There we go. Who would like to read 37? You don't have to put your hand up, Oddsy, if you want to read.
Okay, I'll read. All right, 37, miracles, the superpower of right thinking. Oh, somebody's got a little crayon on it. Nice. Love it. You see that? That happened.
Yeah.
That's cute. How'd that just appear?
I-
That's really funny. It's like a kid is drawing on it. Maybe they have a smart TV.
No, I think maybe you or I maybe clicked on the little, no, the little pen.
No, this old lady got a little creative. I'm sorry, I'm still trying to figure out iPhones and stuff.
Oh no,
Oh,
that's fun.
oh,
I
it's
think it's
fine.
perfect. It's like the kids are drawing in response. I loved it. It was beautiful.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
It's all perfect. I love it. The superpower of right thinking. Miracles are like amazing mind workouts. Oh, I can just see the brain muscle working out that help us think in the right way. It's like having a super clear telescope to see the stars. When we do miracles, our thoughts become super strong and accurate, just like a superhero's aim. This means we can tell what's inside us and what's outside, like a perfect line on a coloring book, drawing a perfect line on a coloring book. Oh my gosh, and we got our perfect green line here. Our thoughts become friends with the truth that God made. So we see things just the way they really are. Yeah, Ricky, that was so perfect. I love that you got our green lines. We're on the right track here. We've got our perfectly colored line on a coloring book, and lines, guys, aren't always straight. I didn't realize that, but you can have different types of lines: crooked lines, circly lines, triangle lines. Everything is perfect. So thank you for this. Miracles, the superpower of right thinking.
I love it. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you, Ozzy. It's so cool. Yeah, and that was a perfect line because, absolutely gave us a connection. Do you notice that? There was suddenly a connection here between us that it was based on observation of something that, someone who called themselves, what did you call yourself? An old lady? If only you knew, you are as old as the stars and as young as the grass. Really, and that's what we are. So I love it. Um, yeah, anybody else have any thoughts on this? Yeah, it sounds like so esoteric, vague. It sounds like something that is just really kind of out there, but it's the experience that we have with this. And so it's one thing to say that our thoughts become friends with the truth that God made, but it's another thing to actually experience myself in the truth of God. And so I like this, the right-minded thinking. That's what brings about this experience of connection. And that experience of connection doesn't just happen to, after I've, worked and tried and strive for it. It's actually the natural connection that I have that I haven't noticed because I've been so caught up in the experience I was having in the world. And so this is a different kind of experience that we're being offered. And, kids are all about experience. So they definitely can get this. Devin, please go ahead.
Yeah, so have kids around all over the place. You guys want to say hi right now? Is that what you got to say it over here? Well, so I want I tell you. Let me talk. One big thing I love about when I was we were developing this was the fact that we can, if you have something you want to teach a child, you know, as I've been confronted with many things, and a concept in A Course in Miracles that you could just reference to where it is, you know, and then find it in this children's edition, and it works perfectly with these principles because it just helps you to break it down and sum it up in a different way, and just to inspire the conversation, even as we have been, and you guys have been reiterating it even more so and explaining it. So when you're really in the position of teaching children and raising children, then it's a beautiful support system on how can I teach them this, and how can I show them that, and just to help break it down in a little bit of more fashion. And yes, it always comes into that little bit objective ideas where you have to simplify it, make sure that it's simple. I often forget as I'm rambling on with my children and talking about deep stuff and their eyes are glazed over, I often forget about, I got to make this a little more simple for them. And so it's a beautiful opportunity to remind you to do that. You're going to say hi now? He's okay. He's not screaming bloody murder. Hey, stop it. Too many YouTube shorts lately. Okay.
Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you, Devin. And what great what a great example too. But yeah, it's not just a perfect thing that we can okay. Um isn't that just a perfect thing that you, well, that we can go to you know, if we want to have something to talk to our kids about, we can just look it up and get some kind of a model to use. Because yeah, I don't think there's a parent in the world that isn't desperate for something to help their children when their children are having a difficult time, when their kids are freaking out, having nightmares, or afraid of bullies at school, or having a difficult time with anything in their life, their body, their emotions, their mind, their ability to learn, what happens at school. Once they go out into the world, they come back with a lot of neuroses, based on what happens to them out there. So really, to have a good way to help address those things with them without without talking down to them, but by actually seeing them as uh, the Christ being that they are, and having a conversation with the Christ being that's in them. That's not intellectual. That's not that there's nothing. It's the simplest thing in the world. It's just not what we normally think about, especially if a kid is acting up or freaking out. We don't normally think about, let's talk to let me talk to Jesus, please. Let me talk to the Christ. Is there a grown up in here? Let me talk to what's real here. And you can do it. It's absolutely natural, and it's really the only way to work with anybody, grown-ups or children. Any other comments?
I do.
Go ahead, Rick.
Thank you so much, Lynn. And because what it comes down to is, inside us somewhere, we've got that fundamental lie that we are not okay. And being able to get them out of it before they're even really harmed by it is just, it is a miracle all in itself. Thank you.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you, Ricky. Yeah, having them strong so they face the world with joy instead of fear. It's a big deal. All right, anybody else? Okay, yeah, McKaylee, please go ahead.
Yeah, it makes me think of, these movies, because because I work as a home health nurse, so I go into people's homes, and I've noticed that a lot of even my adult patients, they like watching uh, what do you call it, the kid movies, that are all animated. And there's always something really scary, some scary monster or scary villain, scaring bad guy out there in the world. And then there's always a rescuer. And so it's interesting to me too that adults, like, they want to watch the children's movies on there. Yeah, I mean, I've got people that have PhDs. That's what they want. They only want the children movies. So I'm blessed that I get to go in their home and I get little glimpses of the movies in different homes. And I see the similarity in these children's stories of that there's always a villain, always an attacker. And, it coming from attack is always wrong. But it always works out in the end in every single one of these children movies. It does work out.
Always works out in the end.
Yeah.
That's a good lesson. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, McKelly. And thinking about things that people like to watch, the children's movies are great. I know a lot of people who are totally addicted to Law and Order, the TV show Law and Order. And that's the same thing, it's just seeing the scary villains and the heroes trying to fix things, save things, make things right. So it's always something. Oh, and it looks like is that Link there? You have your hand up, Devin? Or was that from before?
Link wants to talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Link.
Hi. So
The monster thing. We were talking about the monster thing. You
I-
see a monster?
your mind tricks you some things and you see monsters? Not true.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So your mind tricks you to think you see monsters like in the dark?
Yes.
Yeah. We have a scared of the dark thing, and their mind makes monsters out of things. Good observation, Link. Thank you.
That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Link. I love it. Odsy, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Link. For some reason, my camera is not detecting, so I can't come on and wave to you, but thank you for sharing that. It's really important that you can notice that sometimes your mind can play tricks on you. I don't know if you remember a show, it was Scooby-Doo, and they would go in their mystery van and go and solve all these mysteries. And a lot of the time, they were about different, maybe sometimes scary things, but they always found out it was a person behind it. It was quite funny, that show. And Shaggy and Scooby-Doo, and it's a pretty old show, but it made me think of that these people would go and they would always figure it out that it was actually somebody was just manipulating things a little bit. So good for you, Link, that you're able to notice that you can see things, and it's okay to be scared. Like, it's okay. Everybody gets scared. So you're brave to share that, and I really appreciate you coming on and talking. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Odsy. And Link has his hand up again. Go ahead, buddy.
There you go.
Just like I said, sometimes your mind plays tricks on you, like you see monsters. Yesterday, I saw a dragon in the kitchen.
Oh, that was me. Oh yeah, I was dragging around.
No, you were right next to me.
Oh yeah, he said.
Yes, it was right there.
Yeah, Link likes to think he sees a lot of things sometimes.
I got it.
Well, you know what? Maybe Link does see a lot of things. I used to see a lot of things. other people
Yes.
didn't see. So
And there's an alien in my room. I saw an alien next to my bookshelf.
He was
Save
talking to
me!
somebody.
you were so funny.
Yeah,
Oh my
and
gosh.
I was telling him pretty much that that's what this course is about, is ultimately that your mind's making it seeing things and stuff. Oh, Trey, you want to say something? Yeah. Trey wants to say something. We've been listening and trying to participate.
Hi, buddy. Good to see
gotta look.
you.
What do you want to say? This is Trey, my 8-year-old.
I Atreyu.
He's almost 9 in June. You had a dream?
At my old house, I had the dinosaur punchy bag. I had that big dinosaur plush. I thought he was looking at me, staring at me for real.
Yeah.
And at school a long time ago,
What
I
are you
thought
telling me?
my Huggy Wuggy doll was alive.
Yeah.
It was moving.
Yeah, our
It was
mind.
hiding in the iPads so it can get away.
Our mind makes up a lot of things. Huh? It even makes us.
It was true and real.
Yeah, I mean, just like right now, you're true and real, right? You're moving.
You guys.
Okay.
I know
Sweet.
that Easter Bunny's not real.
Okay, yes, we discovered that, didn't we? Yes.
No,
But
no,
Santa's still real. With
I
the
know.
conversation
Yeah,
over.
but Dad,
No.
I wanted to
Give a kid a microphone.
Plushies are real also.
What do you mean the Easter Bunny's not real? What?
Don't say that out loud.
It might come nibble at your ears.
Might not bring you Easter
Okay.
eggs.
Got any last words? Last words?
Plushies are real because I seen their eyes move.
The plushie? Hey, let him.
Okay, enough of that.
Like that.
Too much Toy Story movie. I don't know. Okay.
All right,
Thanks.
McKaylee has her hand up. Let's see what McKaylee has to say, my friend.
Oh, what Oddsy said about Scooby Doo. So that was very interesting because 2 of my patients are just in love with Scooby Doo. They have all the DVDs in the collection, and I was gifted just this past week while I was taking care of a patient to watch a Scooby Doo movie, and yeah, it actually kind of sets it for the course, for learning the course, because they went to all these kids went to this island and Scooby-Doo was there, and just wonderful things on the island for kids to do. It was total island kid fun place. And sure enough, there was a villain there. And at the end, the villain was wearing a mask. And then the mask came off, and then they saw it was this lady, and out of greed, she was doing all the bad things, her greed, but she ended up getting caught, and she was wearing a mask, which is the mask of illusion, you know, the mask of illusion on her face, pretending to be somebody that she's not, and fooling everybody. And that was all through the Scooby-Doo. So yeah, I think it was wonderful that she brought that up, because there's a lot of good things with Scooby-Doo for kids to set them up for the course. Thanks.
I love it. Thank you, McKaylee. Oddsy, please go ahead.
Oh, McKaylee, thank you for saying something, because here I am. Why am I talking to these kids about Scooby-Doo? It isn't even a show anymore. They're not going to have seen it. It was like bloody 40 years ago. But there you go. It was because you've had that experience. And see, sometimes our minds can fool us into thinking not to say something. And that would mean we wouldn't be connected in this way, where I got to hear, I forgot that most important thing. They always wore a mask. They always wore a mask. Isn't that the same as what we're doing here? We've all got our masks on. Thank you for that, Michaela. It really just brings it back for me. I'm like, my goodness, I'm so glad I watched this show. It truly did instill in me that sense that there's that mask on and masking things, which I did a lot of, people pleasing, masking things. So just a perfect share. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, all things are lessons, even Scooby-Doo movies. I love it. So you guys, our time is up. I do appreciate you all being here and sharing and joining. I appreciate Devin and his beautiful family. And Ricky, thank you for joining us. And I'm going to go ahead and end this. Um, and
Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? All right, you guys. Love you.
Bye. Over here. Say bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Bye-bye.
I want my face.
What's up?
Bye guys. So awesome.
Hey,
That
stop.
I'm a loser, I'm a winner.
Don't talk like that.
Yeah, I can be a
Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Oh my gosh, Devin, you got a house full. That's awesome. Joy. Thank you so much.
Love you guys. See you.